The first thing is to plan our paper because we are dealing with patterns. We need a lot of paper to do that. So the first thing I do is to plan my paper, and how I do that is to ensure that I have enough space for what I'm drafting. But I'm still going to explain that. Meanwhile, let's go on with the business of the page. I'll come back to the paper. Sleeve draft. I was saying that the sleeve is very vital in the sense that apart from a dress or an outfit that does not have a sleeve, that is sleeveless, any design at all that you are adding sleeve to is a very vital part of the garment. It's not just something by the way, because our hand is the most mobile part of our body. And so whatever sleeve you are going to create or we're going to put on your outfit, it must serve two main reasons. One, it must serve the purpose of utility. The person must be able to move about, move their hands freely. Secondly, serves as it enhances your design. You know, we have different types of sleeve. We have cap sleeve, we have puff sleeve, we have bishop sleeve, we have Christian sleeve. These are sleeve designs that helps to accentuate your design, that helps to bring out the beauty of your design. And in some designs, it's going to be even the major style that will be on the clothes. You can have a dress that is just simple, and then you have a very stylish put on the outfit. So the first thing is to show you some of the terminology that we use in sleeve design. The first thing is the biceps level. Biceps level is the widest part. I believe you can see my just look at me where I'm showing myself. The widest part where some people call it round sleeve. That's what I call bicep level. That level after the cuff, almost immediately after the cuff of the armhole, you have your bicep. That's the fullest part of your hand. And then the sleeve cap. The sleeve cap is the curve, the upper curve of your body. So I'll just be indicating that with this. This is a sleeve pattern that has already been drafted. So I'm just be using this to show these terminologies. So we talked about biceps level. This is the biceps level. It's the fullest part. If you see, it's the widest part. Every other part narrows down. So this is the widest part that goes armhole to armhole, front to back. Then we have the sleeve cap. This is the sleeve cap. It is the curve of the sleeve that fits into the shoulder, then goes under the armpit. Then we have the cap height. Cap height is the distance between this bicep, that is the widest part, and the head of the sleeve, which is like your shoulder, your arm at the shoulder. Then the elbow level is the distance from the shoulder down to your elbow. The wrist level, of course, is around your wrist here. Then calf is, I'm going to explain that later. Okay, so the next thing is to talk about the measurements that we need. So for our sleeve, we need some measurements. The sleeve length. So the sleeve length is the measurement from your shoulder. So I want everyone to look at me. Okay. So when you are measuring your sleeve length, you don't just put your hand straight and measure. You measure from the upper part, then bend the arm a bit. I hope you're seeing. Bend the hand a bit and then move it down. Yeah, move it down. Move it down to the wrist. Okay. Yeah, I believe you can. Yes. So if you do it straight, you have removed some length from it because folding your hand makes the hand longer because of the motion. So if you have been measuring your length, your sleeve length like this before, you have some short length, maybe like 2-3 inches short. But if you do it this way, because the hand is made to move as you walk, especially if it is a long sleeve, it's going to be shorter, and you'll be wondering, but I measured the long sleeve, meaning that you're supposed to bend, not fully bend like this, but a bit like this, so that the length can be long enough. Yeah. So that would sleeve length. Then calf height. Calf height, like I said, is the distance between your shoulder seat and where the armhole starts here. But usually it's difficult to measure. So there is a formula. It's difficult to measure, number one. Number two, sometimes you forget to measure such. So, but there's a formula that you can use that will give you accurate calf height. So that formula, you're going to be using your bust measurement. For the measurements that we have here, I am using my size 10. I have a size chart. So my size 10 for my ready to wear is what I'm using here. And for that size, my bust measurement is 36. There is actually a relationship between, because it is your bust, it's around your bust that the sleeve fits into. So that is why there's a relationship between the bust measurement and your sleeve. So we have bust measurement here is 36. So the formula is to divide your bust measurement by 12. Whatever you get, you add 1 inch to it. So for instance, this is 36 inches for my bust here. Divided by 12, I'm going to have 3. So if I add 1 to that 3, it becomes 4. So definitely my calf height is 4 inches. Please, at any time you feel you didn't understand what I said, you can drop your question on the chat box. But there will still be room for question and answer. So the next thing is the armhole measurement. So for this armhole measurement, you will need to have drafted your pattern. These are some of the samples of the. By the way, I have pre-drafted patterns that I do sell. These patterns come in sizes 8 to 20. And I have already created a size chart that is compatible with the Nigerian woman body type. Unlike your US, UK, that there could be some discrepancies. Over time, I've collected data and I've been able to appropriate some of these measurements. So that's what I've used to create this pattern. These patterns come in size 8 to 20 and they are of different parts of the body. If you order for a part, you have all that you need to create anything. Your skirt, your blouse, your dress, sleeve, any type of sleeve, trousers, everything. It will be in that part. So if you are interested, you can DM me for further inquiries. Okay, so let's continue. So these are these patterns. These are the body. This is the front body. This is the back body for this side. So for you to be able to get your armhole measurement, that armhole measurement is needed and you can't measure armhole measurements on the body of the person. It's guesswork. A lot of people do it, but it can't be accurate. The best way is to have drafted your pattern and then measure the curve of the armhole for you to be able to get the armhole measurement. So for the armhole measurement that I'll be using for this draft, you will have to add. So this is let me show you how the armhole measurement is done. This is a flexible rule. I don't know if anyone knows about it. or you've seen it before. It's a flexible rule. It allows you to measure curves on either the body or your pattern. Unlike the tape rule, it is bendable and it can stay in that position for some time. So this is the flexible rule. It has two sides. A side is in inches, the other side is in centimeters, depending on the one you use. So for this, I'm going to start by measuring my armhole for the front bodies. So I measure here, I record. So for this, I've measured already. For the front body's armhole is 7/8. I recorded that. And then for the back, is 8/1/8. I measured it 8/1/8 and I recorded. Then I added the two together. After adding the two together, I divided by 2 again. Then I added a quarter. Please, I hope it's not too much. What I just said, I hope it's not too much. Can I go over it again? Okay, so these are both front and back body with the armhole. You know, this is the center front that is going to be placed on a fold, and the center back also. But this is the armhole in between. So I measured the front armhole, I recorded my measurement. I measured the back armhole, I recorded my measurement. I added the two measurements together. That is front armhole measurement plus back armhole measurement. For instance, if the answer for that is 17, because 8/7/8 and 8/1/8 gives us 17 inches. So front armhole measurement plus back armhole measurement that I did here is 17. So that 17, I divided it by 2. My answer becomes 8.5. Then I added a quarter inch. It gives me 8.75. I believe it should be clear now. If it isn't, you can still go back to watch the video. So let's continue. So after doing that, that gives me my what now? My armhole measurement. I've recorded. This is my measurement chart that I'm recording on. We've done the sleeve length. Okay, I've talked about the sleeve length. For this pattern, my sleeve length is 24. Then the cap height, I've said how I got the cap height, 4 inches. Then I said armhole measurement is 8.75. My biceps, I've shown you how the biceps is gotten. But there's something about that bicep. Because of, we're drafting a basic sleeve that is straight. There's no style, it's just straight. So for that, because even that straight sleeve, you can use it to create any style you want. So there must be free movement. If you measure exactly around your bicep and you record that's what you use, you have issues because the person won't be able to move. Because as you are moving, your muscle is increasing in width and it needs more space. So for your bicep, you add 2 inches extra when you are drafting. Now it now depends on the type of sleeve you are drafting. You can decide if you are creating. You may need to remove some of that 2 inches, or you can even add more if you want a wider sleeve. So, but the standard is plus 2 inches. For instance, my this for this size is 12. The normal measurement that I measured is 12, and then I added 2 inches. That becomes 14. So that's why we have biceps to be 14 here. Then which other one? The elbow length. Elbow length is from your shoulder to your elbow. That measurement is optional. Now, the reason why it's optional is this. There's a method you can use to get that elbow length. So if you didn't measure your elbow length on your customer and you still want to create this pattern, there is a way. But if you have your elbow length measurement recorded, you are going to use it. Then the wrist, which is the hand entry, you don't measure around here. If you measure around here, if it's a tight sleeve, then it becomes a problem for the person because this part of your hand will not enter. So usually you measure around here. Around the hand, you put your hand like, you do your hand like this. You do your hand this way. Okay. Can you see? That's how to measure around hand. That's how to, okay, so, that's how to measure the around hand. Yeah. I want you to do it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I believe you can see. You measure a bit loose. You don't measure it tightly so that it can move around. See how the tape is moving around. So that's how you measure your around hand measurement. All right. Thank you. So now that we have all these measurements done, the next thing is to start drafting. Every other thing that we need to talk about will be same as we draft.